Okay, welcome back. My favorite class, grade 9 science. Another 10-minute quick lecture, because that seems to be how we're teaching these days in the future. You may be wondering what this beautiful, shiny ornament is. I won't say Christmas decoration. Oh, I said it. This is going to be the moon. In a demonstration we're going to be doing later today, what we finished with yesterday, we were talking about what we've been talking about, the galaxies and nebulas and the birth of stars, but we really haven't been talking about what's in our own backyard. What's the main thing you see when you look up into the night sky every night? And that's the moon. It's our largest satellite, right? And so we did end the last class when we were going over the phases of the moon, and I asked you guys a question before you left. I asked, did the dark side of the moon receive light? You're supposed to go home and answer that. Did anyone do the research, feel brave enough? Marcus?
No.
No, it doesn't?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because the moon doesn't move.
It's ingenious. I think we're going to be disproving that as we did last class. But again, this class, this is why we're doing this. We're visual learners. I'm a visual learner, and this is going to help with that. We're going to prove that it does. It does, the dark side. And does anybody can think maybe a better terminology I could have used so it wasn't so misleading?
It's tidal locked.
Okay, that's true with the spin, when you're talking about the spin, right? I'll show you in the demonstration. I can see in your head you're thinking, but there is definitely a time where that dark side, that very cratery side of the moon, brights up like a full moon. Guaranteed. We'll show it in this. Okay, so let me go down to the next slide. So the first question on this handout that I was giving everyone, that really wasn't a handout, but we're pretending it is, was, does the dark side of the moon receive light? You're supposed to answer why you think so. And if you're Marcus, you're going to say, heck no, it doesn't. You guys just keep these.
Oh.
You'll also notice on there is the different phases of the moon. And I will expect you to be filling that out, but it's going to be quite easy because the next slide kind of gives it to you. So this is a two-dimensional representation. This is what we were going over yesterday. And do you guys remember the Karate Kid demonstration I gave?
Yeah.
Wax on, wane off. You guys remember that? Maybe too young? So waxing, we're gaining light on the right-hand side. Waning, we're losing the light. And that is what we're going to demonstrate right now. Can I get 2 volunteers? Who wants to have some fun? And don't break these because the principal, my sister, will kill us. All right. Okay, so if in this demonstration, this orb is representing the moon, that lamp is representing the sun, and your face, you need to stand up, is representing the earth, or your view from the earth, where do you think we should be standing? Where would you start?
What am I sorry? The moon?
You're the moon. This is the earth, your head, sorry. This is the moon. This lamp right here, when we turn off all the lights, is going to be, oh my, can we turn off the lights in here?
Yeah.
I can, oh, bloody heck. Okay, so we're all going to pretend the lights are off.
It's so dark in here.
Yeah, and just a quick safety thing, lights are off, there's cords on the ground, let's not trip over anything. Remember, we're pretending the lights are, oh, there we go. Let's get them, you just have to hold it.
Maybe. I
No, kills time, so I kind of want it. Well, the answer to your question is if you're Earth, anywhere along the Earth's orbit, right? That would be the best place to stand. Now, you don't want to stand where Mercury is, because, too close to the sun, it wouldn't make much sense. You wouldn't be way off in Jupiter if we could walk that far back. So maybe just about right here. You want to hold your moon up so it's not walking. Okay. So, you can look at the two-dimensional representation. Who thinks they can show me new moon? Because that's where I want to start. And if we had...
Oh, I think do that.
We can't, but I bought one of these, so I can replace them. This is the help with the dark side of the moon concept. We're going to assume this is the side of the moon that you see, right? Okay. So, who remembers... First of all, I want to say, starting with new moon, who thinks they're in that position right now? Or who thinks they can demonstrate that? New moon's right up there. If you're curious, you can see the light from the sun. Again, that's two-dimensional. This is three-dimensional.
I'm sorry, what is the lamp again?
The lamp is the sun.
There's the sun.
Your face is Earth, and this is the moon.
Oh!
Your face
I can
is
demonstrate the new moon. Look, it's dark.
Yeah.
That's about it. There you go. That's it. That's new moon right there. Just like see in the yeah. Because this is the light coming from the sun.
Oh,
New
okay.
moon.
That
is when the moon
that
is-
makes sense.
Yes.
I thought it was that.
See, it's a little
That's
tricky.
the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the sun. I'm pointing past the sun.
And if Marcus, you can imagine that if we're in new moon phase right now, and we're staring at the surface we always see, then what's being bathed in light right now? Dark side of the moon. So the dark side of the moon does receive light, and that's why we'd rather use the terminology near side that we see, and far side that we don't see. Okay, who remembers which way the moon orbits? Right now in this demonstration. It's counterclockwise. I don't think you would, because we went over this last class, and I don't remember seeing you a lot in the last class. Looks like all new faces to me. So let's start. Let's do a little rotation. So hold it up a little bit higher than your head, because again, this lamp's supposed to be higher, but perfect demonstrations never happen. Okay, so let's rotate into the very first. Let's wax on to waxing crescent. Rotate until you think you can show me waxing crescent. And what are you noticing about those? Actually, can I get you to stand maybe a little bit over here so everybody in the class can get a full view of the moon? Because it is kind of hard. We're seeing it from your perspective. So
Yeah,
what
so
are we
sure.
noticing right now about the light?
The light reflects off of this small portion of the moon.
What side is the light on?
It's on the right,
right
side.
side.
Can you guys see it right here? So what do we call that?
It's a waxing crescent.
Waxing crescent.
Waxing crescent. Excellent. Let's go to the next phase. Are we noticing the light growing more on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Excellent. Who wants to shout out what the next diagram's right up there, just in case you guys get lost and you don't know. First quarter. Excellent. That's first quarter. And let's keep rotating till we get to that confusing one that most people forget. We're waxing gibbous. Yeah. Waxing gibbous. If the moon is lit 99%, is that a full moon?
Or waxing gibbous.
Waxing gibbous, absolutely. Let's see full moon now. And this one, because of the demonstration, hold the moon up high. Hold it above your head. That way you'll be able to see the light.
There we go.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works. So that's full moon. Okay, let's move on to the next phase. Keep moving counterclockwise. Who wants to shout out what that is?
Waning gibbous.
Waning gibbous. And what are we noticing now?
There's just a little bit dark
Is this a little bit dark? Where's the light?
on the left side.
Interesting to know, eh? Okay, so let's move on. Let's go to the next stage. What is that? I want to hear somebody who's not participating.
The third quarter?
Yes, absolutely, because we did do the waning gibbous. Now we move to third quarter, and then we rotate all the way back to new moon, and the cycle is complete. And how long did that cycle take? Does anybody remember? How many days? It's a hint. Not quite a month. Very close. 27.24, so actually 28. I think it was rounding up. Absolutely. Okay, so before you sit down, if you're still holding this up, I just wanted to talk about what we're representing here. Is this accurate? Is this an accurate representation of what's going on in the solar system? Like between the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon?
No.
It's kind of a rhetorical question. No, it's not. But are we still successfully demonstrating what's going on with the phases of the Moon?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. I know you're you can Google it if you want, if you don't believe me.
Oh, I know.
Okay. But that's some of the things that what are variables that we've taken out of this demonstration?
Axial tilt.
Excellent. What's another one?
Obliquity of the axis. Or of the...
What's some more grade 9 science obvious ones?
The Earth isn't moving around.
Boom. Some of our students are more brighter than others, and I do recognize that. No, but you're 100% correct. In the next slide, you will see that. You're talking about the spin, and you're talking about the rotation, right?
Yeah.
From the moon. So yeah, those are the more specific ones. But ones in this one, we're not representing distance. We're not representing size properly. I mean, this is obviously not the size of the sun. And there's also another major thing that we're kind of forgetting about that happened to you every time you went to new moon phase and then full moon phase, and you're like, what's going on with this light? You eclipsed yourself, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
That's why we had to hold it up high?
Yeah.
So how come every month there's no eclipse? I mean, if the moon travels around, shouldn't there be 2 eclipses? Shouldn't there be a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse every month?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm going to show you, you can sit down now and relax. I'm going to show you a little quick video just demonstrating why we don't see an eclipse every single month.
Should I attempt?
Absolutely, please and thank you. First thing, before I go into the video, just to kill time, who knows the definition of a solar eclipse? What's a solar eclipse? I don't want to keep calling on the same student, you guys. You really...
The Earth is between the sun. The moon goes in between the sun and the moon. No.
When the moon is in between the Earth and the sun. Correct. So what's the other eclipse?
Solar, lunar.
What happens then?
The other way around.
Said very well. Said like a gentleman. When the Earth is between the sun and the moon. Absolutely. Now let's watch an interesting clip here if this loads. Uh-oh.
Oh
Is there an eclipse where the sun goes between the Earth and the moon?
In other systems, yeah, just not in ours right now. Oh, okay, technical issues. What's the time? 11?
11 minutes.
That's in the way.
Then it's a planetary eclipse.
Oh. Check this out. This is how fast learning happens, right? You don't know what to do. You want to find out more about eclipses? Let's Google it. This is what we're teaching you, right? So
This is effective teaching. You gotta
It
come
is.
up with backup plans.
Yes.
let's see what we can find. Video education, let's say that.
Video.
Ooh, some of these look nice. Let's do this one. This is easy for you guys. We were talking about this. I had a much better video loaded, but on the fly,
The difference between a solar
this
and
comes
lunar
out pretty nice.
One
Let's
looks
do this
like
one.
this, and the sunny day suddenly becomes dark, and the other is a full moon that gets darker and darker.
A lunar eclipse is when the moon is blocking the light of the sun.
Is that right, Jeff?
No, I changed my mind.
See, it's not just us. Here are 3 different ways to remember which is which. Some of the confusion probably comes from not knowing exactly what the word eclipse means. It's an obscuring of the light from one celestial body. So the name of the eclipse tells you which one is getting darker. In a solar eclipse, the sun, or sol in Latin, gets darker. In a lunar eclipse, the moon, or luna in Latin, gets darker. Solar eclipse, sun is eclipsed. Lunar eclipse, moon is eclipsed. Easy. The name of the eclipse also tells you which thing to look at if you want to see the eclipse. If I want to see a solar eclipse, I look at the sun with specially designed glasses so I don't burn my retina. If I want to see a lunar eclipse, I look at the moon with my bare eyes. That's fine. If you just can't remember the names and you really want to know what's going on with a solar and lunar eclipse, here's what. A solar eclipse is when the sun gets blocked because the moon is passing between Earth and the sun. The moon blocks light from the sun, casting a shadow on Earth. You can even do this at home. Get a ball for the moon and the Earth and a flashlight to represent the sun. Looking from Earth, we
We've
want to
basically
block the
gone
light
over
from the
that
sun, so the moon
experiment,
must
so I'm not going to continue it any further, mainly because I haven't watched this video yet. And she covered what I wanted to cover, lunar and solar eclipses. I mean, she didn't get into what Marcus was talking about, but we're talking about orbit, tidal lock, and then the degrees of 5% that moon is off. But the main point is there. So the last question I want to leave you with is, why or do we even care anymore? Why do you think you need to know about the phases of the moon? Is it important? Anyone have any ideas?
Because we live on this planet,
So the moon's important. Like, how does the moon affect our lives on this planet then?
it affects the tidal waves.
What? Is that important? No, I
Or
mean, like,
might
if the
find
moon just
important.
disappeared tomorrow or gradually over 400 million years.
It affects the thermohaline circulation of the oceans.
Okay, so life in the
I just
oceans.
said that.
I was looking for more of a university level response, so thank you very much.
Or grade 9.
Some of the grade 9s kind of act too much like grade 9s for my taste. No, exactly. It's very important. So I want you all to go home, come back with a reason, not Marcus's, a unique reason, your own reason. You can research it if you want, for why it's important that we're still learning about the moon phases. And there's some more simple answers, so you can keep your responses simple. Okay, that's everything. I want a video. That was so much. This video is stupid compared to the video I found.